Thanks, Gary. Lots of active weather still to talk about in this country. Primarily in the west. We did have some thunderstorms earlier through New Brunswick. They are non-severe in status, but in the meantime, things are just starting to heat up in parts of Saskatchewan. Certainly the rain has been coming down in coastal BC, the thunderstorms through the BC interior. I was just showing you the cloud tops where the active weather was via satellite, but this is what the rain looks like. So now we're looking at the radar. Vancouver expected to get more rain in one day than traditionally all of July, which is about 35 millimeters. So it's not like Vancouver gets a tremendous amount of rain in the month of July, but looks like you're getting it all in one day. In the meantime, it's not so bad thunderstorm-wise on the coast or Vancouver Island, but the BC interior, that's where all the lightning data is. And we can see the thunderstorms that moved right up from the southwest towards the northeast. We still have the severe thunderstorm watch in place, some warnings embedded there. Good news. It's not all bad news. Severe thunderstorm watches and warnings have all come to an end in Alberta. We still have wind warnings and rainfall warnings in place in the south and the north, but no more severe thunderstorm watches or warnings. Through Thursday morning, we could still see some of those bubbling up. Thunderstorms through the overnight hours, isolated severe possible. And then there's the rainfall. So quite a bit of it again through the BC interior and on the coast. And if you've got those thunderstorms, you'll have heavier rain still. And then west of Edmonton towards Hinton, Grand Prairie, we're looking at rainfall warnings. Whitecourt, for example, upwards of 50 millimeters with thunderstorms, perhaps even more. But that's what we're looking at. Okay, so here's the radar for Saskatchewan, and we're looking at, again, the thunderstorms to the north. There are severe thunderstorm warnings in place, but we suspect that in the southwest you could see possibly severe weather. We're already talking about severe thunderstorms. I don't even want to say it. Tornadic activity, possibly. So it's looking like in the extreme southwest along the international border, no watches or warnings yet. Severe thunderstorm watch, but no tornado watches or warnings in that area. But heads up, in the next few hours, it looks like there is real potential for severe weather crossing the border with these thunderstorm cells. There's a rainfall warning. We've got wind in the south. That's through the day on Thursday. We're looking at winds gusting to about 90 kilometers. Hi there, I'm Kim MacDonald. You're watching the Weather Network. Lots of active weather across the west. Elk Valley, East Kootenay still in the severe thunderstorm warning. There have been winds, damaging winds, heavy downpours, frequent lightning as well. We've seen lightning data to go along with that. And there's the rain coming down. A real change in the weather pattern for BC. We're going to see in the long-range forecast, though, you're going to get back into that high pressure across the south, and things will be back to that drier weather. Hopefully, this at least helps the fire situation a little bit, but obviously lightning never does. And there is our lightning data. So starting in the southwest and pushing to the northeast with those storms. Again, East Kootenay, Elk Valley, currently in the severe thunderstorm warning. This is our risk map through the overnight hours into Thursday morning. Yellow, non-severe. Red, where we suspect the severe. We don't have any watches or warnings currently in Alberta. Thunderstorm-wise, we still have wind warnings and rain warnings, however, just not severe thunderstorms. So that's some good news. Take a look at this. That's a gray sky, the rain coming down in Kamloops, lightning as well. Pat, thank you for your video. We love that you send it in, theweathernetwork.com. Don't do anything risky, however. We still have some severe thunderstorm warnings in place in Saskatchewan as well, including Reno, and not far from Consol. There have been reports of tennis ball-sized hail. So these are the kinds of storms you want to be indoors during, obviously. And as the night wears on, the next couple of hours, we could see another round of cells moving from the U.S. across the border into southwestern Saskatchewan, and they potentially may bring some rotation. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you. But in the meantime, we've got a few cells that we're looking at right here. And again, when we're getting into those reds and those purples, those are the storm cells. We can see through Esther as well, just on the way through Kindersley. So yes, thunder, lightning, heavy rain, and obviously large hail. Gusty winds, too. We've got wind warnings in place. This is your severe thunderstorm watch, however. It includes much of southern areas of Saskatchewan. Okay, let's go east. Thank you, Gary. I'm Kim MacDonald. We do have active weather in British Columbia and in Saskatchewan primarily, although we still have rainfall warnings, wind warnings in place for Alberta, and a lot of that has to do with the weather that's coming your way come Thursday. Okay, so we've had some thunderstorms embedded, especially in the BC interior, getting quite a bit of rain on the coast. Not enough to warrant a rainfall warning, but that's a good look at the radar. And yes, Vancouver is seeing more rain in one day, Wednesday, likely than they normally see for the entire month of July, which is about 35 millimeters. We need the rain in the BC interior. It should help with the forest fires. We don't need thunderstorms, obviously, because they have lightning associated with them, and we can see our lightning data. This is showing the most recent. So it goes from the past obviously to just about 10 minutes ago or so. So quite a bit of lightning still in the BC interior. Elk Valley, East Kootenay, still under the severe thunderstorm warning. There is our watch area in the northwest. So the watch means that conditions are favorable for severe weather. The warning means the storms are happening or are imminent, just in case you're wondering the difference. Non-severe thunderstorms expected through the overnight with isolated severe, again, in that same pocket. So this is just a risk map where we think thunderstorms could happen in the overnight hours. And as I mentioned, in Saskatchewan as well, we've been seeing some thunderstorms, especially through the southwest. Tennis ball-sized hail has been recorded near Console, and we could have more storms in the next couple of hours pushing from the U.S. So we're watching a couple of fairly strong cells moving into southwestern Saskatchewan. And here's a look now at the current radar. So anything in those red colors, I want to bend right down, but those reds and purples, those would be the more severe thunderstorms. And if you are under a warning, like in Reno, for example, you want to take cover, especially since that tennis ball-sized hail has been recorded already. Okay, so we've got severe thunderstorm watch in place. So we've got the warnings within the watch, but the watch area is still quite big across much of the southwest. And then through Thursday, the risk of thunderstorms again in Alberta, the BC interior, Saskatchewan, and all of this will be stretching towards Manitoba as well. So this is through the morning hours, and then through the afternoon, Manitoba, you'll get in on the action as well. We've had some active weather in the east too. In fact, in New Brunswick, some thunderstorms through the day on Wednesday. Now the risk extends a little farther to the east. So Thursday, thunderstorms, PEI, Nova Scotia. The potential is there, Newfoundland as well, but we're not expecting them to be severe in nature. Hi there, you're watching the Weather Network. I'm Kim MacDonald, covering active weather, BC and Saskatchewan primarily. Alberta does have rainfall warnings in place and wind warnings too, but the severe thunderstorm watches and warnings have come to an end in that province. But I would be remiss if I did not let you know, if you haven't figured it out already, that temperatures are going to be much, much cooler in Alberta come Thursday. We're looking at a high of 15 degrees. Forecast for Calgary versus the 25.8 that you saw on Wednesday. Lake Louise, if you're going there, 7 Celsius for a high, feeling like 4. And there's that rain coming down in British Columbia. I know you need the rain. It will help improve the forest fire situation. What won't, however, are the thunderstorms in the BC interior, and that's because of the lightning. The rain, certainly, good news. The lightning, bad news. And we do have severe thunderstorm warnings in place for Elk Valley and East Kootenay at this hour. Plus, we still have the watch. So there's the watch that's in place, but we've got the warnings within the watch, meaning that's where the storms are happening right now. So through the overnight hours, again, thunderstorms potentially. This is what Kamloops was looking like earlier on Wednesday. Just heavy rain, and it sounds like hail as well. Doug, thank you for this. Or that could be just the pouring rain, just the sheer amount of it making that incredible noise. Wow. Okay, so yes, we have a fire situation, obviously, in British Columbia. We do need the rain. It was fairly dry for July. And July is traditionally dry. A year ago, Vancouver didn't see a drop of rain for the entire month. And these are the fires that are burning currently. So we still see some in the south as well, around Kelowna, and then in the north too. And obviously well to the north, in the Northwest Territories, the fire situation is having a huge impact on the air quality in Yellowknife. It's been very, very smoky there. Hard for people to breathe, especially those with respiratory problems. But there's some rain coming for you in the next couple of days as well. We do have severe thunderstorms in Saskatchewan too. Reno still under that severe thunderstorm warning. Frontier, the rural municipality of Frontier. And we have seen with these storms, tennis ball sized hail. That's been reported on the latest Environment Canada summary. So the last warning that they sent out was talking about tennis ball sized hail. That can do some damage, obviously, and that can hurt if you're outside. Hopefully you've got a garage or somewhere you can put your car so it doesn't get damaged. In the meantime, We're looking right now at a few thunderstorms moving towards Shaunavon. Looks like it's dying out at this point, but more storms are expected to get going in the next couple of hours, moving from the U.S., crossing the border into southwestern Saskatchewan, and they may be severe in nature, so we'll be watching for those as well. There's our watch that's in place. Thursday, we still have more active weather, thanks to an area of low pressure that's going to be moving through. So Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, too, has the risk for thunderstorms for tomorrow. We certainly do have active weather. British Columbia, Saskatchewan primarily this hour. We are looking at rainfall warnings and wind warnings in Alberta, but the severe thunderstorm watches and warnings have ended, at least for now, in that province. So some good news. We do have, this is a look at cloud top. So when we're looking at those oranges, those are the very high clouds. It's a reflection of the bigger storms. We're certainly seeing them in British Columbia. We've had severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in place. Lots of rain too. Big upper level low churning that moisture up, coming right into the southern areas of the province. Yes, you could use the rain in the BC interior. Obviously, wildfires have become a problem. We can use the less heat and obviously the wet weather. What we can't use is this. These are the lightning strikes. So we've had obviously some lightning embedded with these thunderstorms that are moving through the BC interior. So lightning obviously contributes to wildfires. It's the rain that we need. At least it's not dry lightning. There's a lot of wet weather going on with this. The severe thunderstorm watch continues. The warning within it, Elk Valley, East Kootenay, still under the severe thunderstorm warnings. And then through the overnight hours, non-severe thunderstorms with isolated severe expected. So that last map was not a watch or a warning. It was just a risk map. And here's the heaviest rain that we expect. So right along the coast, too. 45 plus millimeters of rain. Not enough for a rainfall warning, but it's going to be a good soaker. Okay. Speaking of soakers, check this out. This is in Kamloops. Oh, yeah, that's no fun at all. We've got some viewer pics here, and this is from Twitter. So obviously a whole lot of rain, a short period of time. In fact, most communities seeing as much rainfall as they would in the entire month of July in one day, including Vancouver, by the way. Traditionally dry, but getting some very wet weather, so very untraditional. We do still have Frontier, rural municipality of Frontier in Saskatchewan under a severe thunderstorm warning, including Frontier and Clayton. We've had reports of tennis ball sized hail in southern Saskatchewan. So, and this is a look at some of the lightning that we've seen there. Look at around East End in the southwest. I know it's an ironically named town. But yeah, it's been pretty wild, especially in the last half hour or so. Severe thunderstorm watch continues. We've got the warning embedded within the watch. A warning, again, means that the severe thunderstorms are happening or are imminent. If you are in a warning, I advise that you take cover. I have some good news. Severe thunderstorm warnings have come to an end in British Columbia, but because the warnings are over does not mean necessarily that you won't see any more thunderstorms, but it's heading in the right direction, right? Things are getting a little bit calmer. Although we've had some significant rainfall, it continues to rain. Looking at our radar, the yellows, that's the heavier amounts of rain. That's the more moderate rain. In the meantime, this is a look at the lightning data that we've had over the last several hours, and we can see the thunderstorms pushing to the north and east into the Rockies. We could use the rain in the BC interior. Certainly what we can't use is the lightning. We don't want any more wildfires. The severe thunderstorm watch is getting much, much smaller, so that's good news. We still have the thunderstorms through the overnight, isolated severe possible. No watches or warnings as far as thunderstorms in Alberta, but Saskatchewan certainly has seen its fair share of thunderstorms and more thunderstorms to come in that province in the next few hours. It looks like a few thunderstorms pushing towards southwestern areas of Alberta this hour as well. Wind warnings in southern Alberta, places like Cardston, Pincher Creek. Winds will be picking up through the day on Thursday, and more northern areas will be under the rainfall warning, places like Hinton and Grand Prairie, for example. Brought those thunderstorms to Ontario the night before. That was on Wednesday night, or Tuesday night, I should say, and now moving into Montreal through the morning on Wednesday. Okay, so Thursday, we're looking at potential for thunderstorms now in Nova Scotia, PEI, western areas of Newfoundland. It has been very warm, very muggy across the Maritimes and Newfoundland. We've had record-breaking temperatures day after day in Newfoundland and Labrador. Here are some of the numbers from Wednesday. Corner Brook, again, record-breaking temperature there, 27 37.9, broke a record from 1995. Yeah, so it's been hot. How long is it going to stay hot? Well, temperatures are going to cool down between Thursday and Friday in Newfoundland. There's the cold front. It becomes a boundary and just almost stalls out across Nova Scotia, southern areas of New Brunswick, PEI. There's western Newfoundland in the rain. So yes, it could bring a few thunderstorms, but we're looking at showers primarily. We did see some thunderstorms in New Brunswick through the day as well on Tuesday night. And we still have some lingering cloud cover on Wednesday. We are expecting more sunshine on Thursday, and a lot of people like this kind of weather. It's low 20s, no real humidity. In fact, it'll be warmer in northwestern Ontario, places like Pickle Lake and Thunder Bay, than it will in places like Toronto and Hamilton come Thursday. Friday, you're going to start to see that heat building back in, but you've got a couple of nice, warm, sunny days, but not too hot and not too muggy. And then we're getting into the active weather, unfortunately, in time for the weekend. That's when we have the threat of a few thunderstorms. London looks like this: 23 degrees on Thursday, 24 on Friday. There's the sunshine, and then back into the active weather. And look at early next week. Temperatures in the, dare I say it, high teens in London. My goodness, a place that is known for being fairly warm in the southwest. This is long range now that we're looking at. So we've got high pressure for a couple of days, and then active weather moves in. Meantime, we've got some action through the Maritimes in Newfoundland, but it'll clear out in time for the weekend. Not too bad for you. Okay, so why... Hi there, you're watching the Weather Network. I'm Kim MacDonald. Glad to have you here. Nice day on Thursday. Can I say nice day? I know we try not to be too subjective here at the Weather Network, but if you like it a little bit cooler, a little less humidity, a lot more sunshine, that's the kind of day it'll be across much of the Great Lakes region. Northwest will actually be warmer than the southwest. So picture perfect, not a lot of humidity, temperatures around the 23-degree mark. You might want to take a nice little drive, but you don't want to spend all that money on gas. We've got some great tips for you here, especially if you're buying a new car. Here's Mike Arsenal. It won't be as great for driving in Atlantic Canada. We do have the risk for thunderstorms, although we're not expecting them to be severe. But yeah, you're going to get some rain, and temperatures are certainly going to be cooler than they have been. Man, it's been hot. It's been really hot across Atlantic Canada, record-breaking heat. So there's our risk map for thunderstorms, and there's the culprit. So here's the cold front moving through, bringing some showers and possibly non-severe thunderstorms. Lighting up that night sky. No severe thunderstorm watches or warnings along with that. But yes, if you were up and about, you may have noticed the lightning through the early morning hours into early Wednesday. In the meantime, we've got temperatures that are much fresher on Thursday, and you'll have the sunshine. So it won't be as cloudy as it was on Wednesday. It won't be as humid. You know, low 20s. I think that's pretty nice weather for a lot of folks. I like it a little bit warmer, but I know a lot of people think 23 degrees is just perfect with no humidity. And in fact, it's going to be warmer in northwestern Ontario on Thursday than it is in southern Ontario. Temperatures in the mid-20s in places like Thunder Bay and even Pickle Lake. 17, that's a nice fresh morning, and I think you can perhaps turn off the AC and open the windows. In the meantime, we've got some active weather expected for Atlantic Canada. Showers and thunderstorms, Nova Scotia, PEI, western Newfoundland, southern areas of New Brunswick as well. So we've talked about the lightning. That's the thing about when it rains in the morning, most people are prepared for it. It's when it rains on your way home from work that you may not have the umbrella if it was nice in the morning. Lots of heat across the east, record-breaking temperatures, Newfoundland and Labrador, and northern New Brunswick as well. Temperature hitting 32.6 degrees. It is going to cool down, though. We've got a front moving through. That's going to trigger a few more thunderstorms likely. We're not talking about severe weather. Non-severe thunderstorms anywhere in the yellow areas, that's where we suspect it may happen. And you're seeing primarily showers because we do have a frontal boundary that's going to be stalled out right across PEI, Nova Scotia, and western Newfoundland, but then clearing just in time for the weekend. So some good news. Okay, coming up, they brought those thunderstorms to Ontario.